Hi there, and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Update, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest to asylum seekers and those who want to stay current on immigration news. This week, we're discussing
the Biden administration launches a campaign to inform eligible migrants about U.S. work permits in response to local pressures. The Department of Homeland Security is scrutinized for using fake social media profiles to investigate immigrants, raising privacy concerns. A federal judge orders Texas to remove river barriers at the U.S. Mexico border, escalating political tensions between the state and the Biden administration. Florida's anti-immigrant law threatens to limit the workforce available for disaster recovery as undocumented workers avoid the state. And an analysis sees progress by the Biden administration on immigration changes, despite its failure to pass an immigration reform law.
I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. It's my pleasure to bring you asylum and immigration reform updates each week right here on the Political Asylum Lawyers YouTube channel. Okay, let's get to the news. First up,
the Biden administration has initiated a first-of-its-kind campaign to notify eligible migrants to apply for work permits in the United States. This comes in response to increasing pressure from cities like New York that are struggling to accommodate new migrants. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service is sending emails and texts to eligible migrants, including asylum seekers and those entering under specific programs. The move aims to help migrants work and live legally in the U.S. on a temporary basis, reducing the burden on local services. The campaign was agreed upon in a meeting with New York's governor, who has been advocating for federal help. The Biden administration is also exploring further support for migrants in areas like housing, healthcare, and education. However, resistance remains on granting temporary legal status to migrants who didn't enter through official channels.
And next up, for update number 2,
the government is coming after immigrants online. Recently uncovered records from the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, reveal that U.S. immigration agencies have been using fake social media profiles in a wide range of investigations. These activities include covertly researching the online presence of people seeking immigration benefits. The practice has raised concerns among civil rights groups and even elicited warnings from Facebook for violating their terms of service. DHS files indicate that any information collected during these investigations, even if not derogatory, must be saved in the individual's file. The revelations amplify existing concerns about privacy and governmental overreach in the digital age, as the agencies continue to discuss bypassing social media site rules that prohibit the use of fake profiles.
All right, time for our third immigration update.
A federal judge in Austin ordered Texas to remove river barriers designed to deter migrants along the U.S. Mexico border. The decision, in favor of the Biden administration, directs Texas to dismantle the floating barriers in the Rio Grande by September 15th at the state's expense. The judge found that the barriers violated federal laws governing navigation in waterways and that Texas failed to obtain required permission from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The Biden administration had sued Texas, claiming the barriers hindered the Border Patrol, endangered migrants, and damaged U.S. Mexico relations. Texas Governor Greg Abbott plans to appeal, insisting the state is filling a security gap left by the federal government. The ruling exacerbates the ongoing political feud between the Biden administration and Texas over border security and migration policies.
And moving right along, update number 4.
Florida's anti-immigrant law is hampering disaster response efforts in the state. When Hurricane Idalia struck Florida, it highlighted the critical role undocumented workers have often played in post-disaster cleanup and recovery. A new immigration law signed by Governor Ron DeSantis in May threatens to limit this workforce. The law, described as the country's most aggressive crackdown on unauthorized immigrants, discourages the use of out-of-state driver's licenses by undocumented people, criminalizes their transportation into Florida, and penalizes companies that hire them. As a result, many undocumented workers who were once willing to help in post-disaster situations are now avoiding Florida for fear of deportation. This could lead to labor shortages in critical recovery efforts, affecting the speed and effectiveness of rebuilding after natural disasters like hurricanes.
And finally, our 5th immigration update for this week.
A recent analysis sees progress by the Biden administration on immigration policy, despite its failure to pass a comprehensive immigration reform law. In January 2021, President Biden introduced a comprehensive immigration reform bill, the U.S. Citizenship Act, aiming to create pathways to citizenship, enhance border security, and modernize the immigration system. The bill faced stiff resistance in Congress from Republicans, who criticized it as mass amnesty. The legislation eventually stalled, failing to gain enough bipartisan support. Despite this, Biden's administration has made incremental progress through innovative approaches. Initiatives include humanitarian parole, stricter rules at borders, pre-clearance offices abroad, and technology-assisted asylum processing. The administration also aims to address root causes of migration in Central American countries. Some smaller immigration measures have been pushed through the budget reconciliation process, but the original comprehensive reform remains elusive.
And that wraps up this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. That number is 713-352-1593. We help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an Asylum Strategy Session so that we can help you to secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.